don't forget. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so that's for the
That's too much.
right.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay.
So, etude, all right.
Okay.
Would you like an A?
I have some more big peg. Some other room.
Did you change your string, the one that was in the oven?
Yes, I changed the D.
Sounds good. The E is still not in tune, my dear. Can you check that one with me?
Do I just start with the 37?
That's what you have in front of you, right? So that's what we go. Would you please consider playing this in a quicker tempo? And do you mind taking some of the bracelets off? There's just too many dangling things, and playing the violin with this sort of jewelry is difficult.
Probably need to take this one off. It's the one.
Do you need help with that?
Maybe. I think I can get it. I got it. Okay.
Great.
And then I can probably take this off. Except this takes a long time to take off because it's like knotted. So I'm just gonna keep it on. But it doesn't really dangle as much as the silver. Yeah. Okay. Do I start over?
Yes, because we need to hear all of this in a quicker tempo. Okay, Ella, good. Do we have another one from here?
We're not 36.
Okay, so for now, you're done with 37. Depending on how things go with Bach, we might need to revisit a few lines from it. But for right now, that's good. Okay, so let me hear 36.
Okay.
The whole thing, right? And we have good tempo for that. Good. The last one should be yes. No. The chord is on the down bow. The penultimate note is up. You know that word, penultimate? Yes. So. Right. Very good. And yes, you have to remain on the open E alone at the end. So it's the tonic that we hear. Very good, Ella. It makes all the difference when you put a little bit of vibrato, and you've got such great action in the end for that. Does it take a lot of energy from you to vibrate?
If I do it wrong, meaning if I am tense when I do it, it's
but while you were vibrating, when I was reminding you, how did it feel?
It felt fine.
Yeah, you need to do it. It takes stamina to be able to sustain through the whole etude, like just doing this. But if you have the stamina, then you're unsinkable. So that you might want to revisit this etude every now and then, just make sure that you can add that wonderful vibrato action through all of it. Now, I'm really curious about this. So, can we get from here to here and make sure that we don't miss this one? Yes. Yeah. So mentally and physically, you have to be aware where this is going. Now, this sounded like you were still trying to find your footing. Now that you know where you are, can we do it with good energy in a leader kind of way? Yes, that's all it takes for something like that. Okay, great. So you're done with both of these etudes. Now we still have a little bit of business in this book.
Oh yay!
So open to number 38. Yeah, we need a little bit of preparation for Bach.
I don't think I have the whole book with me right now. Let's see. I don't think I have the whole book with me as of right now.
Which ones do you have here?
I have the only ones I'm working on. The rest of the books at my house.
Okay, so this is the one. So more double stops, but with a little bit sustaining, a little bit of bridging, a little bit of everything. So let's read the first line. So before you jump into it, take into account what the pulse is. So we're in 4/4, but the eighth notes are what? Are they triplet eighths or are they regular eighths? Right. So do you see how you will be grouping them?
So it's going to be in the second beat. This is going to be the second beat.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm going to have the D on the.
Yeah, and now for ease of reading, because I would recommend you go at the tempo that's slower than the moderato. How about we do one beat to a bow, just so we can get our bearings together? And now, as you're doing this, what is going to happen? The downbeat is going to be on the down bow, and the middle of the bar is going to be on the down bow, right? So the other ones are the up bows. So that is going to keep us rhythmically and visually organized. So let's give it a try. We're in the key of D major. But that first beat, tripla, 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 tripla. Okay, so you might be going a little bit too fast. You have to give your brain enough time to process what it's seeing. So you've got would you like to try even slower? So basically, we think about each of these triplet subdivisions, each one of them getting a count. So 1 and da, 2 and a. 1 and a. 2 and da. should be in second position for this, right?
Oh.
So it's on an apple. So now your first finger stays on the C sharp. So keep the G in. Keep your second finger very close to the G. Yeah. So major third. C sharp. 2, 3. So that's the tritone. So Ella, now when you play double stops, your brain has to work twice faster. So as you're looking at the verticals, you have to instantly figure out what the intervals are. So what is the interval in this first vertical here?
That?
Yes, so what is that?
That's a 7.
Right, and then it goes to a sixth and then a fifth, right? You see that. Then what is the vertical on the next beat?
It's a 6.
Right. So once you have the sixth, then it's kind of easy to figure out how the other voice is going to move. So just look ahead so you can see what that first interval is. Can we start right here on the 7th? So that's a down bow. It's the middle of the measure. So that will be with an extension. And now octave down bow. It's a fifth. You need to get a fifth first. This one an up bow. Oh, you're right. So it's on. Yeah, and now when the rhythm of the other voice is only an eighth note, you only touch it and then you play without it on the next string. So perfect fourth, right? 4-3. Yeah, usually after an open string, so from there, yeah. Perfect fourth coming up. Major third, minor sixth, major third. Third position. E natural G sharp. Now D, so third finger and F sharp. So could we try that? Perfect fourth. second. Yeah, hold the E. Just one. Sixth. Perfect fourth. B, E. Hold the E. No, G. Yeah, now Ella, as you're looking at this, can you already imagine what it's going to sound like?
I mean, I'm reading the notes wrong and thinking they're the.
Oh, yeah. So try to associate what you see on the page with the sound you're going to hear. Yeah, obviously you have to read the notes and all that, but just looking at the picture here, it automatically has to be. That's what you want to hear on that. So could we start on this? Good. The G sharp chords. Good. Stay on the A string. These are eighth notes, so stay on the A string. Yes. Just a little tricky. And then, good job. It's a tritone. Keep the G sharp. Good job. Keep going. Good. Nice.
No.
A, G, yes, you're right. Careful, just a tritone. Yes. A, 4, 4. Nice. Okay. A, unison. Yes. Okay, so for next time, I want you to smooth out at least 1/4 of the etude. So at least that much. Ideally, maybe a page if you can. It's going to help your reading skills if you're analyzing the intervals as you go, and especially if you hear with your internal ear what's supposed to sound when you see it like that. All right. So number 38. That's the one we're working on. Now you have Vitali.
Yes.
Do you have Bach?
Totally, I have the Bach partita. The partita.
Yes,
I
we have questions.
Learned the first, second, and third page.
Okay. Oh, but
I started the fourth page.
Well, but this is kind of repetition of the first page.
Yeah.
The string
Except
lower.
this part kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Yes. Now, I like to hear the Vitali though.
Okay. I need a whole bunch of, but I have the.
How much of it do you have?
I've been learning the first and second page. I was trying to figure out the rhythm for this part.
Okay.
So I have I was also working.
Yeah. Now, I'm really curious. What are these numbers?
They're metronome speeds because I'm trying to get it to where I could do sauté with them. So I'm doing it line at a time. So it's like a copy of the.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now I have the rest of the.
Now, you might want to go into slightly larger units, Ella. I know you've been away and all that, but just one line, that's...
I mean, I've been going through sort of the whole page.
Oh,
I
okay,
can't really get
okay.
the whole thing down. I guess I can do this.
page note 2 2. This one should be taken out. Yeah.
Oh, so I just do 2 and 1.
Right. Now, so I love the character with which you're playing this. Now, what did we learn about playing chords from the etudes from number 37?
Start note and I have to use a little bit of both of it.
So you have to save your bow on the bass, right? That's a very important part of yes. Yeah. Can it happen?
Yeah.
And now, is the chord on the beat, or do you start it ahead of the beat and then the top is on the beat? How do you think of it?
On the beat.
No.
It's like,
So the top is on the beat. So when the top voice comes in, that's the beat. So the bass is ahead of the beat. That's very often how we play chords.
would you want the dynamics all forte?
Yes, this is the opening is all forte. Now we didn't just forte. You can have a little bit of range because obviously you have to shape the phrase. So it's not like everything is just the same kind of sound throughout, because there are places in the phrase where there is a repose, there is a peak of the phrase, so you need to show that. But so that very first chord has to be done with much greater mastery, please. So the very first thing, don't underplay. You don't need to be playing it over the fingerboard. So yes, you need to bring the bow close to the bridge for the high strings, but don't play just at the fifth sound point, because this is still has to sound very full. And that fingering, let me see. 3, yes, because I really don't think that this slide that you're doing from the A is musically very satisfying. So just to be a better, yeah. And can you think ta-ya-ra-da, ta-ya-ra? If you want to spend more time on the bass, be my guest. Just don't spend too much bow on it. But then, so we have a good sense of the rhythm. The voice itself has to be with full value. If you started on the beat with the bass, and then you arrive after the beat on the top voice, we are cheated out of that melodic line, and that's why we're playing the roll of the chord ahead of the beat. And do you feel that musically it requires a little bit of lean on that G? That's not a good chord though. It still needs to have motion in it. That's an end of a phrase. To answer your question about the forte. Yeah, so end the phrase now. The new phrase starts from the second big beat of the bar. That should be up down, I think. Well, no, but that's exactly the opposite of what I expect you to do. So that G that you're just playing now, the one that ends the phrase, that's. Do you think this should be a strong note, or should that be like ending of a phrase note, which is a little bit less than what's around it? Yeah. So the difficulty is because it's on a down bow, and it's all by itself, while everything else around it is with slower bow. So less now. Can you shape like a good musician, the good musician you are? Yes. Ella, you don't have to make a diminuendo before you play the lighter note, because if you make a diminuendo before a lighter note, you've already stolen its function. It has to sound lighter than what you've played before. So keep. Now strong. Yes, and beautiful. That was beautiful. Now it feels very restricted. So I believe this is up. Then. So can you finish in a more singing way? So it's not so. I mean, it was getting softer in the piano and all of this, but it really felt very restricted and tight. So keep the forte still. It's still in forte. Ella, where does the diminuendo begin? Where does the diminuendo begin? No, it starts here. It's later, and you were already playing it here. This is still forte. Forte. Now, yeah, and more bow and later. So it doesn't feel. So you don't. That would be on the G string.
I
see?
tried.
So no. So this is definitely the G string. Yeah, and please, if a phrase begins, please stop. If a phrase begins on the second beat, don't play the thing that comes before it. Because that's where the variation begins. Yeah, and now, why do you think you have to put a space between the B flat and the E flat? You see the note mark? Over the B flat. Yes, of course you see that. So these are connected. How about some vibrato on that? Yes. Yeah, the fingering is actually very clever. So you walk back with the second finger. So a step and a half is what you move back. Right, so with both of these, stop for a second. So with both of these, A to F sharp is a step and a half. So the amount that you measure for this one on the fingerboard is going to be then the same amount that you step back for the B natural, because from your first finger, no, is that the first? It's your third finger, yes. So it's so can we do that? It's a major third for the ear, but for the hand, because there's a string crossing, you have to measure a step and a half from where the third finger is. That's right. And then right. And Now, can we
should
play?
to my computer?
2-2. And because then we use exactly the same half step to do 3-3. So B flat A 2-2, B flat A 3-3. Now, can I hear a more musical delivery on this? So, dum dum. This is like a pickup to its down bow. So, no, please don't disconnect those two notes. I don't know why you want to disconnect them. Is that because the way the 4 is written, they have to connect. C for connect, and this is like a pickup to the next one. So, in other words, the way you connect those two notes has to have that filled with the. Otherwise, I don't understand what the purpose of the music would be. So each one of the long notes has its own ornament right before it. So the B flat is the ornament to the E flat. Now they become a little bit short. So that's the meaning of this line. Can you try it? Good. Great. And now, do you see how cleverly he has added this crescendo here? Because things speed up and become more exciting as the phrase develops. It starts with longer note values, then they diminish, and then finally we have this flourish at the top of that. So that motion is kind of already coded in how the phrase develops. So could we try this one more time? Please vibrate the first note. Yes. Now crescendo. Yeah, it just doesn't have to be so. It needs to be with a little bit more passion in it. No slowing down. Yeah, and we got turned around, yes. But that's the idea, that was great. Can we put it in context one more time? Good. And that was great. I would like to play with you here because I want you to have better timing on these guys here. This is such a beautiful phrase, and there's this it almost, you want to take yourself off the ground. It wants to fly. Just let's try together to hear the timing and. Do you feel it? You see how they're like in groups? These two guys are a group, and then these two guys are also a group, and then the flourish. Hey, I don't like the connection. Okay, we'll talk about this in just a moment. Now, let's so this needs to sound a little bit more like an improvisation. What kind of pattern do you see through this? Do you see how the speeding up is written out? So you have to be cognizant of that, and again, it has to sound as if you're making it up in the moment. It shouldn't sound like Kreutzer Edged. So. Now you might need to read it like this once or twice just so you would understand the rhythm. But once you have cleared that hurdle, it has to sound very improvisatory, very ornamental. While observing the dynamics, of course. So the top has to be loud. The top needs to be strong. And but you know, I'm hearing da 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 da. I hear them at the same level. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. And then comes the second wave of that. Basically, do you see how we've got those waves written out? So here's the simplest of the versions, the one that is in quarter notes. Then now 8 notes. Now triplets. Yes. Okay, and we will talk about the consequent here in a moment. Now, do you know what a chaconne is? Did you look that up? Do you know of another chaconne that is really, really famous? It's like the ultimate chaconne.
What chaconne?
Ultimate, famous, really famous piece. Do you know about the Bach D minor chaconne? Yeah. So well, a chaconne is basically a set of Baroque variations. And the theme is the bass. So this thing that you hear, this is the bass on which we then build this melody. And then every single variation that we play in this is based on that bass.
So just these are the...
Yeah, so that's actually the bass, the bass on which the chaconne is based. Okay? The melody is not the theme of the chaconne. The chaconne is based on a bass line. Ground bass or bass variations, if you wish for this. So that's why the phrasing is so regular. That's why we kind of group them by phrases and so on. So now, when we get to this one here, do you see that we have a hairpin? So if we don't do the crescendo and then all of a sudden we start screaming the beginning of this, then we've missed the point. So just another wave. There are lots of waves here in this. Way under tempo, but did you notice something about my bow distribution?
It's closer to the some point when you were doing it, when you got more loud, you went like towards the bridge and then you went back.
Okay, that's about sound point, but I was talking about bow distribution. Bow distribution has to do with bow speed.
You used a faster bow on the slur.
So I used a lot of bow on the slur, right? So now I really took care of the crescendo. So even though it's going against the grain, even though it's on the down bow, then just so the end just almost trickles out. Ta ya ta da ra. So. So can we try that from here, from this one, down bow here. Yeah, Ella. So don't spend too much bow on this down bow, the one that is by itself. So it's going to be ta ra ta ta ra, ta ra ta ta ra. no. Now spend a lot of bow on the slur. A lot of bow. No. You don't understand what I'm asking you to do. So look, the slur, the 2 8 notes. Please support the violin. You will spend a lot of, then very little on this one, and then you will finish very lightly at the frog. So.
Yeah, I can't play.
So no, don't do the left hand. We will just get the bow. That's what the bow is doing there. Ta-da. Yes. Exactly. That's what we want to do with the bow division. It's a very violinistic. It's also a surprising thing to see when somebody's playing like this. But it's really cool when it's done right. Otherwise, it's just. I can just. I couldn't care less about playing like this. So. Yes. Yeah, so make the slur really big. Make the slur really big. Ta-ya-ta-ta-ra. So musical ta-ya-ta-ta-ra. So a really big, huge musical importance in this, and just almost nothing on the last 3 notes. There's a wrong note there in that mix. Where are we? Oh, yes, thank you. Yes. Okay, so Ella, can we do just one more time? Because something with the musical flow is not quite right. I think it has to do with tempo and you can do the right rhythmic proportions in a slower tempo. It's the rhythmic proportions that are off on this. So fix it. So it just has to be very flexible in the technique. So it's usually hearing the return to the E string. So I would like you to try it once with just a really enormous accent that I'm doing on the third of each of the triplets. Yes. Yeah, and distribute your bow well. So yeah, now so do you see what the bow distribution is for this? So when you return those bows, stay at the tip. And then the rest of them are 3 to a bow. Yeah, Ella, let's do it a little bit slower so we can do it correctly. So I'll play with you. 1 and save, use. Then we go into a new variation from that. Yes. Now, by the way, this piece is attributed to Vitali, but actually it's faux baroque. It's not a real Baroque piece because it's written by somebody else, and that's why we put so many slides, and that's why we are playing it in such a romantic way. As a Baroque piece, if it were a true Baroque piece, we'll never play it like this. It's just a romantic piece in Baroque style. So now, could we try just one more time? Let's get rid of those enormous accents that we were doing, but you understand why we practiced it like that. So we would not miss the... And then we will do something else, yes. From the triplets, yes. Okay, you're so well coordinated and you're managing this, but you're working too hard. So this type of technique is called bailage. Yes. Have we done any bailage with you before on two strings? We did a little bit in the Bach with the compound melody, right? But this is different because this is on separate bows. Now, when you have them like this, which part of me do you see? Yes, so it's the hand that moves around. Now there's a little trick here. Yes, the closer to the frog you are, the easier it is to move just the hand. So as you go toward the tip, you might end up using a little bit bigger lever for that because the radius is much bigger, and a string crossing at the tip is usually much bigger affair for the hand. Because do you see for the hair it's just a tiny amount, but do you see how much this end of the bow has to move for it? Yes, and here at the frog it's the opposite. It's very small here, but do you see how much the tip is moving? So that's why the motion is much smaller at the frog, much bigger when you're at the tip. So but try nevertheless not to do it from here. If anything happens, you want for it to be accomplished either via this or a little bit of this, or a combination of the two. Brava! Yes, that's quite good. Now it still needs a little bit coordination work because you hear it that
yeah, it's like
yeah. So do that, but with this particular motion, it's going to be much easier. And the same thing when the variation is simpler before it's the speed up is written out. So we're in second position for this. So we go. So there is none from here. It's all very localized in this. Yeah, you want to try that? I think you like this. So start on the down bow, please. Overall, you might want to keep the bow a little bit closer to the two strings. Otherwise, the string crossing is going to force you to be enormous. Almost double stop. Almost double stop. So close. Yeah. But can you play without the stutter because it is yeah. So go slower then. Great. Now, Ella, are you trying to stay on one string at any given moment?
What is that?
You have this constant undulating between two strings. So are you trying to be on one? or are you trying to have a little bit of mixing? Which of the two are you trying to do? Yeah, mixing is good. Mixing is good because it will provide for a very smooth legato, and the effect is always very beautiful because it's like it's almost hypnotic when that happens, especially when one of the voices is just a drone voice. Can you try that one more time, and just don't be afraid to mix them. The first is on a down bow. Don't speed up. Da, 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 da. Okay, now I would put it just with a metronome. Now that you've discovered what the motion is, it just needs to be a little bit reined in terms of being even, with no accidents. But that's quite good. And then we can do a little bit of musical flow, some dynamics to make it more interesting. Yeah.
So on the B flat after the. Do I just extend it and then sort of
that's the whole point of this particular thing, because we go into a very difficult key here. What's the key?
Probably.
It's actually B flat minor. Just one. That's the key of this variation. So that's a very dark key with lots of room. Yeah. So let's start there. And espressivo, yes. Keep the sound going. Crescendo.
Why are there two C's? Oh no, that's a dot. I thought that was another C.
That would be on the A. And now, this is the first time when at the cadence, at the end of the phrase, oops, we're not quite done here. We have double dot with an eighth note. So it has to be really accurate. Now, can we read the words here? Please read them out loud for me. No, not expressivo. In English we have expressive, but in Italian it's like espresso, coffee. The essence. Espressivo, yes. Espressivo and agitato.
Yeah.
So what is agitato? What is agitated? Is peaceful, or it's the opposite of peaceful, isn't it?
Like, I don't know the word. Agitated is like sort of more stressed.
Yes. So isn't it funny that it has to be expressive on one side, and then it needs to have that agitated quality to it? Which means that you cannot slow down. It cannot be with the noble and dignified character of the opening. This is different. So it has to be driven. There is just undercurrent. So you will get the undercurrent with the vibrato and with the feel of movement through the phrase. So. And again, think if you've got a rising scale and a goal note, in order to bring this agitato, you can create this feel for impatience with the way you're climbing up the scale. So now we've got another rise. And now the dot here is not double dot, it's not da, so it's more melodious. Now. And finally we get into this Neapolitan harmony with the C flat, which is the what scale degree in B flat is C flat? So B flat, C flat.
That'll be E flat minor.
No, we're still in B flat. So if we're in B flat, whether it's a major or a minor key, B flat, and you have C flat. How far is the C flat from the B flat?
Oh, from the B, it's a half step.
Right. So do we have a major or a minor scale in which the second scale degree is a half step away from the tonic? No, we don't. It's always a whole step from the tonic. So when we have that lowered second scale degree, that's a Neapolitan scale degree. That's the name of it. After Naples in Italy, the city,
yeah.
Neapolitan. There's also Neapolitan ice cream, right? But in terms of harmony, Neapolitan harmony is the darkest you can get in both a major and a minor key, but especially in a minor key, it sounds super, super dark. And so I'm going to play for you one more time, and I want you to just sensitize yourself to hear this kind of thing. So I'll start from... Now listen here. Do you hear how special we just and then we get that resolved and so on. But just Neapolitan thing, it's like a huge event there. So what other interesting harmonic things have we learned? At your last lesson we talked about in the etudes about something, and I had you take a note of it. It was a special type of sixth. Do you remember?
It's augmented.
Augmented sixth. Yeah, so here with the augmented sixths and the Neapolitan, we're talking about like extended harmony, this very chromatic harmony. Because for both the augmented sixth and for the Neapolitan chord, you need a lot of accidentals to get things going. So those are kind of in the extremes of tonal harmony. They're very strong chords, and I want you to have your ears open for events like this, because good composers know when to use them, and when just thing is there and you recognize you have special arsenal. You're ahead of the game when you know what to do with this kind of things. And once we start playing Bach, especially a minor piece by Bach, they're going to be those Neapolitan areas that they just give me chills when I think about them. So let's hear now just espressivo agitato theme in B flat minor. Thank you. More agitato, please. And just speed up the tempo a little bit and agitato. Now dark. Yes. And now piano. Brava. Whoops. Now careful with the rhythm again. So it's the same pattern that he has been using by by adding energy to the phrase as it goes on, right? Because we start. So what about it?
Neapolitan? No.
Well, I don't know here. No. So we're still in B flat minor. So this is actually lower, low sixths scale degree. And yes, it just a kind of chromatic harmony, and I'm glad that you're reacting to it. And now. No more Neapolitan here.
Okay.
No more C flats. Legato, dolce. chromatic scale that we have just be much more sensitive. So now the chromatic scale is just the last three notes. Just the last three notes. So this is just a minor scale. Now here, this one. Yes. So that. Right, and then. So you can stay there in fifth position. I shifted down, but that wasn't very smart. So can you try one more time from the A tempo? Legatissimo. So and let your bow. It needs to hover a little bit. So use bow. Now crescendo. Too slow. Now, do you understand the rhythm? Do you understand the rhythm of? So they're basically six staplets. Now, for starters though, I would ask you to play them even. Ultimately, we're going to take some musical liberties because we need to emphasize harmonic changes, pattern changes, blah, blah, blah. But for starters, I would like for us to start with very pure rhythm. And pure rhythm also implies pure tone. Great. Yes. Now, Ella, could you possibly improve your tone production on that number 4 there? Do you know why I'm asking you to do that? What task am I giving you for the tone improvement? What didn't sit well with me? It was uneven, and so once you start to just see if you have to have a really good bow distribution so you don't run out of bow, you don't feel that you have to compromise on the tone production because you don't have enough bow. Play the first note though. Play the right, because that's part of the bow distribution that you have to account. Okay, so do you see what the problem is? Ella, did you see what the problem was? You really started running out of bow when you had to play 3 beats to a bow. So once you get to
use
yes,
my bow
so you no, it's the other way around. You need to use here.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So on this one, well, whatever bow you end up, you need to be for this down bow at the frog, and then you have to mentally divide your bow into 3 parts, because each beat is going to take one of those parts, and you don't want the last part to be that much. Yeah. And you're doing. Yeah. So it's going to be here. Yeah. So do you see so when I wrote UB, which is for use bow, that's on the up bow. You have to be. You have to start using bow sooner though. So look, Ella, look. You're going, and then no, it's the other way. So on that up bow that starts here. You
You
start using right away, not just at the end of it, but right away. Fantastic! This is much better bow division. Now, are you bothered by the intonation?
Yeah.
So, what can we do about it? How about we build the stacks a little bit more precisely? So, in what position do we begin?
Fifth.
Right. So, can you build the stack going from the first finger upwards? Ooh, but that. So, with really good intonation. I don't like that intonation. What's wrong with the tone production on this note? Do you hear the?
I heard it like.
Well, change your change your sound point because now, look, you're so fortunate to be playing on this little good instrument. Okay, so there's one note that's a little bit, growling, and the violin is not allowing you to play on that particular sound point. If you had a worse instrument, you'd have notes like this practically on every note that you play. Bad instruments are so less forgiving than good instruments. So keep your awareness up. So yes, because it's you. It's not the violin, it's you. Yes, right. Good. Look, now I hear, look. Yeah, so make sure that the whole step is big enough, otherwise that's not good. That should be first finger.
It's written 2.
It's written 1.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's much easier with the. So it's always on 1. It's out of tune, my dear. It's really out of tune. Hey. Again, the whole step, Ella. This is very careless. So please. So open your ear for it. Yes. Yes. Good. The next one. 1. Tone production, so each one rings. Next one. The A has to. That's in tune now. Careful with the whole step again. Yes. Right. So
wait. So it's whole step.
Yes. So keep the whole steps wide though, because yes. Now whole and half. Now half and whole. Yes. Easy enough, right?
Yeah.
Now let's put it in context with good rhythm and good tone, and we will continue. Use bow. So in this variation here, we have those big leaps, and now do you see the tenuto dashes over the downbeats?
Yes.
So we are going to make a big deal out of that. So you will really lean and linger time-wise on those notes. So. it has it doesn't say to place also just legato, legatissimo on all of this. Smooth. No, but that's not smooth. So really smooth, Ella. You gave me about, I would say 15% of what I want to hear on those bass notes. Can you give me the other 85%? So the bow has to be... Ella, this is not a rhetorical question. What should the bow be doing for the low notes? For them to pop out? Yes, what about the bow speed?
You have to do slow fast.
Yeah, no, you just stay slow bow speed. Oh no, because we're taking extra time. So that extra time on those bass notes actually is going to allow us to use a lot of bow with slow bow speed. So they're very sustained, very full, very round. Oh, but let's not do that. Legato. I'm sorry, but your bass note has to be much heavier bow. Listen again and watch. Because we've got those enormous leaps. If it's bigger than an octave, it's huge, and it takes time. Don't shift sharp on the D flat.
Do I do 2-3 or
2-4? Just don't shift flat on the D flat. Don't shift sharp on the D flat. Because if that's in tune, then your octave position will be good. Yes. Right. Now go on. And for the exercise, let's leave the trills out for now. So you will be playing. So it will be 2-1-2-2. Then 2-1-2-3. Then do the octave. D flat. Yeah. Okay, so Ella, I want to see, well, I don't really want to hear you trying to read it, I want to hear you play it. Before that, from there, so play at the speed at which you can read it correctly. That's right. Rest. Yara ta ta ta. Reading without rhythm is a very bad idea. So can you try this one more time and try to observe rhythm in which you can plug in the correct pitches. So don't play faster than you can think, but you need to have rhythmic proportions. Yes? on the F. Stop for a moment. Take the time you need to regroup. So we want to stay in the tempo in which you played, which was quarter, dum, pa 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 pam. So it will be with the octave. It will be 2, 3, 4, and so in the time that you're taking, that's what the proportions are. Three, 4, right. Come in. Hi, Holly. Yeah, we're almost done.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, how much more have you worked on this?
Not really that much. So do
Okay.
you want me to do the rest of this page? Or
Oh yeah, I want you to I want you to work on the things on which we worked. And how about you take it to the next tempo primo, page 3? Do you have page 3? It's in the third line. Yeah. So that's how far I want you to go on that. Now look, when things have too many ornaments on them, just read the basic skeleton, so you understand how the rhythm works and what the skeleton is. And then it's very easy to flesh out that skeleton once you understand what it is. Okay? All right. Any questions?
I don't think so.
All right.
Okay. So you want me
If
to
anything, don't hesitate to write to me and ask. Yeah, I'll be happy to answer. But what about reading and rhythm? You just want to make sure you walk away with
in the
preventive care.
in the Vitali thing?
Yeah, not just the Vital, in general. What about reading and rhythm?
If you don't know how to do it, you have to slow down. And if there's tons of stuff like extra, you just type to do it at a speed you can do it. And think of what the rhythm would be in your head before you play it, so you don't play it wrong. That's how I think of it.
So you fit in the pitches with the rhythm.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you. We have a lesson next week, right?
I think so.
I think that
I don't think I'll be gone. I go to Hamilton tomorrow. It's gonna be cool.
what's that?
It's a play.
Yeah, but are you in it or are you going to
No,
see it?
I'm gonna go see it.
Ah,
with
okay.
My mom, her boyfriend, and my sister.
Oh, cool.
It's in Lubbock.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and then sometime soon, I'm gonna be alone at the house because my sister's gonna go to a concert with my brother and my mom. So I'm gonna be alone at the house, so I don't think I'll have the lesson that week. I don't know when,
Oh.
but I don't know.